Walk us through the day that you got arrested.
On June 15, 2000, well, first of all, they told me that I couldn't work out on the streets anymore because I kept getting on them. I say, the same guys that we just arrested, y'all taking money, you're planting drugs, and you're beating innocent offenders to the ground. I said, you guys are no different than the ones that we just arrested. They told me to mind my business. I said, what the freak you mean, mind my business?
So this was a common thing. You were seeing the cops that you were working with, they were literally stealing from the drug dealers.
Absolutely. No, they taking money from the drug dealers, yes. Money and drugs.
After they arrested them,
After they arrested them, yes. And that money is supposed to go in the manila folder that says, with a red tape that says evidence. Mm-hmm. And the supervisor signed the signature where you can't break the seal. Well, they was leaving with thousands and thousands of dollars each night.
Wow.
I told them, I said, you guys are no different than the ones we just arrested. You should be in the paddy wagon. And that's when they told me to mind my business. I said, what the freak you mean mind my business? So, of course, they decided, you know what, you can't work out here no more. I said, oh, and what? You going back to the jail. Okay, so put me back in the jail. So I go back to the jail. I'm working on the 6th floor, and I was working for 73. And, of course, when I came home, and around about 3:30, I guess 3:30, I took a shower. I lied down. And, of course, that's what I always do. I take a nap. And when I got up to go work out in my backyard, I look across the street. I see either the SWAT team or the drug task force mounting up. So when they saw me, they all jumped in their cars and sped down the back street. So I told my neighbor, I said, man, let's go to the front of my yard and see where they going. Granted, my wife had gone to Winn-Dixie. So it was just me, my neighbor, and my 12-year-old daughter and my 7-year-old daughter there in the yard. And all of a sudden, when I go to the front of my yard, they jump in the back wall and everything. 60-some cops storm me at gunpoint.
60?
60. 60-some cops storm me at gunpoint. Had me and my kids at gunpoint. So my oldest daughter got on the phone and she called my wife, hey, mommy, they got daddy here. The police got daddy. So when my wife came back from... When my wife came back from Winn-Dixie, she was patting her on the chest like she was having heart palpitations. And she was asking questions. But prior to my wife coming, they done gone in my house, searched my house and everything, looking for drugs and money. But they never told me what they was arresting me for. They come telling me, Ray, we got a warrant for your arrest. I said, a warrant for who arrest? A warrant for your arrest. I said, for what? So here come this dude, Ricky. He patting me at my shoulder. Hey, Ray, calm down. I said, man, what you mean, Ricky? Calm down. What the freak you mean? Calm down? What you mean, calm down? What did I do? So then Dave Robshaw from Internal Affairs, hey, Ray, we're going to place you on suspension depending on the outcome of this case. I said, what case? What case are you talking about? What did I do? So all of a sudden, the same guy I just showed you earlier, right? Bernard Brown, he was the one who actually put me in the marked unit and transported me to District 5. But I'm still asking questions because had they told me what they was arresting me for that day, they probably would have killed me that day. Because I ain't never been in trouble in my entire life. I never tried a marijuana cigarette in my entire life. I never took a drink a day in my entire life until after the incident. So I get down to booking and I'm like, what am I here for? Ray, we can't discuss it. I said, what do you mean you can't? So nobody can discuss it. So you guys can tell me that you got a warrant for my arrest, but you can't discuss it. So all of a sudden, I'm still asking a question. So they book me and then they take me over to the city jail. When I arrived at the city jail, they put me in solitary confinement. So I stay there till the next morning, 24 hours. All of a sudden, the marshals come. I'm like, whoa, man, the marshals, what's the purpose? I said, what's the purpose of the marshals? Oh, Ray, we here to take you to court. Take me to court for what? Well, we can't discuss. I'm like, what do you mean you can't discuss it? I said, what did I do? Ray, we just here to take you to court. They handcuffed me and shackled me, put me in an unmarked car and transported me over to the federal court, I get over there. My mom and my wife are sitting there in the courtroom. The prosecutor said, when Mr. Ray is at work, he's in the top 10% of his department. But when he's not at work, he's into other curricular activity. And she proffered to the courts that I went to various states to live in 350 kilograms of cocaine that was equivalent to $750 million. The magistrate judge says, you're not a flight risk. She said, but you're a menace to society.
A menace to society. So they said they found 350 kilos of cocaine.
No, there was no drugs.
So what exactly did they say about the 350 kilos?
She said I went to various states delivering 350 kilograms of cocaine.
Delivering.
Yes, that was equivalent to $750 million. But I had an interview with a awesome young lady by the name of Miss Jane Turner. She was former FBI. She was a supervisor for FBI, and she was also a SWAT member. And when she interviewed me, it was titled, Mind Your Own Business. And she says, Ray, she said, I know you telling me the truth. She said, because if you was moving that kind of weight, the DEA, the FBI, ATF, the marshals, and everybody would have been on you. You would have never been arrested by the Broward Sheriff Office.
Right, exactly.
You'd have been arrested by DEA.
Right.
All of this stuff was fabricated. Every bit of it was fabricated. You know? And it's been 21 years now that I'm allowed to tell my story with the help of Matthew Cox, with the help of you, Danny, with the help of Mark Later, with the help of Bobby Latigar, Miss Jane Turner, Mr. Tom Devine, Mr. Terry Watson, Mr. Robert Ward, Miss Anna Popovich. I could just go on with the list. Miss Sarah. All these people have given me a platform to speak about the same thing, you know, Clee Tillman. All these people have allowed me an opportunity to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I've been talking about it for 21 years now. I've been saying the same thing for 21 years. Now, all of a sudden, everybody calling me from everywhere. I can't tell you all the people that I reached out to before me talking on you guys' podcast. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. The judge said I'm a menace to society. But when you look at these documents, you'll see I'm a Gold Cross recipient, Silver Cross recipient, 2-time Deputy of the Month. So how do you go from being a highly decorated officer to a menace to society? This is what the judge told me. But you know what? And she signed the gavel. Get this man out of here. I was already handcuffed in shackles. They took me to the holding cell, and when they took me back there was five other individuals back there that the Broward Sheriff Office had arrested with me. And literally, I wanted to tear all their head off their body. I looked at every last one of them. I said, man, which one of you niggas said something about me, man? Which one of y'all said something about me? They like, man, Big Hicks, you tripping. Listen, I'm ready to fight with all of them. Every last one of them. It was 5 of them in there, and trust me, I'm ready to fight with every last one of them. Because one thing is for sure about me, I ain't never been in trouble in my entire life, ever. And I want to tear their head off, Danny. They were like, man, you wrong, man. This is your department doing this to you, man. We ain't did nothing to you. And you know what? They was telling the truth.
Right. These guys, how many of them were in? 5 of them?
5.
And they, what were they saying when you confronted them?
They say, you wrong, man. Big Hicks, you wrong, man. You know, this your department, man. We haven't said nothing about you, man. And they was telling the truth.